Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks the 10th year anniversary of Iron Man. Yeah, I cannot believe that it came out 10 years ago today, May 2nd, 2008. 2008 was quite a time. Now, me personally, I was looking forward to seeing The Dark Knight. I'm a huge Batman fan, loved Batman Begins, and that was the movie I was waiting for. But before that, there was Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and Iron Man. Yeah, this was the start of the MCU. Now, we had other Marvel films like X-Men, Spider-Man, Blade, Daredevil, Punisher, Hulk even, but this was the first time that was under one studios as far as like a cinematic universe being started. And it was really before that even started as well. It was just Iron Man. The idea of the Avengers or a shared universe was kind of just like a daydream. It was really just an afterthought. Fast forward 10 years later, we just had Avengers Infinity War have the biggest opening ever, and it's hard to imagine that it all started with Iron Man. Now, they're trying to have an Iron Man movie made for a long time, and Universal was almost going to make the film. They even had Tom Cruise attached. That's where I first heard of the film, being a Tom Cruise fan, and it's hard to imagine anybody other than Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Can you just imagine Tom Cruise? Yeah, that would be weird. But Robert Downey Jr. was the most unconventional casting. I mean, nowadays, you see a Coca-Cola can with Iron Man, and it's amazing. But before Iron Man, when you think of Coca-Cola and Robert Downey Jr., you mostly think of cocaine drug bust type of things. Yeah. He was box office poison at the time, and Jon Favreau really took a risk by casting him. He also did Zathura before this film, and that didn't really perform very well. So this is actually a smaller movie. It wasn't the big franchise as we know it today. And I'm glad they took a chance. I'm glad they took a risk. And Iron Man was an original film. Besides Robert Downey Jr., you had Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane, aka the Ironmonger, and Terrence Howard as Rhodey, who would eventually become War Machine. Or not. And I remember seeing the trailer to this movie. I remember Code Cheese by Audioslave playing, and then they had the Iron Man theme by Black Sabbath, him coming out of the cave, the bullet ricocheting. That Comic-Con footage was so amazing. And this is one film where I was kind of anxious to see, and I also wanted to see it because it had the third Dark Knight trailer on there. But you know what? I got so much more than that trailer. I got one of the best superhero origins ever made. We have Tony Stark, who's kind of arrogant. He's pretty much in the business of war. He makes weapons and sells them for war. And he's with a soldier convoy at the beginning. It gets attacked and it gets captured by terrorists. And this is very much in a post 9/11 world now. They modernized the origin of Iron Man. And through an emotional journey, he ends up having to have his heart replaced. It has shrapnel, and there's his arc reactor that's keeping him alive. He needs the Iron Man suit to survive. He builds a prototype and escapes. And he realizes that his weapons are pretty much used by the enemy and put people in harm's way, and he decides to do something about it. Heroes aren't born, they're made, they're built, and he builds himself an iron suit and becomes Iron Man. And I like the moments at the beginning, how we get to see Tony Stark act before he's kidnapped, how he uses women, him being a playboy. I like the moments with him in the cave, someone helping him out and losing that person. I like the simple moments of him wanting a cheeseburger and fries when he comes back. And I like how everybody reacts to him wanting to make a difference, wanting to change. And him realizing there's a deeper problem in the world, and he was part of it, and now he's going to be part of the solution. And I love it. I love the moments of him testing out the different Iron Man suits, the jokes there. The flying sequence is very well done. Rhodey, the jet sequence fight, the dog fight is fantastic. I also like where he protects people, starts going after the terrorists who kidnapped him. Such an amazing moment with the tank. That was at the end of the trailer. And then ultimately to Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane, being revealed as the main orchestrator behind kidnapping Tony Stark, and he ends up trying to steal the Iron Man technology and makes the Ironmonger suit. That part with the reactor was so intense. The stakes were high. It had some funny moments, but there were genuine funny moments that felt authentic, the humor. It wasn't like eye-rolling or just a formula like it's become now. No. And Tony Stark, even though he was kind of like playful, wasn't as serious as he was later on, but in a way was more serious. It's kind of hard to explain, really. He felt more like a real person here, and I love the final fight. Just everything about this movie was amazing, all the way to the after credit scene where Nick Fury is introduced. Samuel L. Jackson is Nick Fury, and he talks about Tony Stark being a part of a bigger world, and talks about the Avengers Initiative. Fanboys were going crazy. I was just like, does that mean the Avengers? The Avengers? No, not the 98 film, but like the Avengers? Yes, it did. And that was a big moment 10 years ago. And it's hard to imagine that 10 years later, we not only would have more Iron Man films, but this whole universe, and 3 Avenger films. We would have Infinity War. And I love this film. To me, personally, this is my favorite Marvel Studio film still to this date. It just has enough heart, seriousness. The story is a very strong story. And as a standalone film, it works. As an introduction to this world, it works. And it has something that other films are missing. The other ones are louder, they're bigger. In some ways, they're better. They have more visual effects. But with the jokes and just kind of tired formula, Iron Man was still refreshing, original, and it was good. And it has something that's missing from the newer films, I must say. Yeah, I love Iron Man. Feel free on this 10-year anniversary, go ahead and share your favorite moments from Iron Man. And if you haven't seen it, where have you been? But seriously, go check out Iron Man. You will not regret it. It's a fantastic, fantastic movie. And Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Perfect casting. I cannot imagine anybody else in the role. He is amazing. And this film changed everything and really is one of the best origin films ever. One of the best superhero films ever made. Share your moments down in the comments below. What do you think of Iron Man on this 10-year anniversary? Like, comment, subscribe. You can also follow me on the Stardust app. It's an app where you can post your reactions and reviews to your favorite television shows or films. Follow me at Fred Film Fanatic. That's all today, everyone. And who could forget that ending? I am Iron Man. Brilliant. Have a nice day, everyone.